Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. 19 bodies recovered from the Simal bus accident in Chitrakar. Condition of the remaining 43 passengers and the missing 2 buses still unknown. Ministers and foreign ambassadors ignore diplomatic code of conduct. Ministry of Foreign Affairs unaware of the meetings of the Prime Minister and ministers with Chinese and Indian ambassadors. A fire kills 16 people at a shopping mall in Zhejiang, Sichuan province in southwest China. 30 people rescued from the blaze. Cause of the fire still unknown. And Nepal up against Sri Lanka today in the Kava Under-20 Women's Volleyball Championship. Nepal aimed for gold in their first participation of the championship. 19 bodies of passengers of the 2 buses that had gone missing in the Trishuli River in Simal of Bharatpur 29 Chitwan under the Narangad Mugling Road section have been recovered so far. Out of the 19 bodies recovered, 5 are yet to be identified. 1 body had been recovered from Salbas, Bharatpur, and another one from Bine Triveni, rural municipality of Nolparasi yesterday evening. According to the District Administration Office, Chitwan, a total of 19 bodies, including 17 male and 2 female passengers, had been recovered until yesterday evening. It has been 1 week since the unfortunate incident took place. However, the condition of the remaining 43 passengers and the missing buses are still unknown. The families of the missing passengers have lost hope of finding them alive. Meanwhile, the administration has said that search for those missing will continue today as well. A team of more than 500 security personnel from the Nepal Army, Armed Police Force, and Nepal Police have been searching for the missing with the help of sonar cameras, rafting boats, motorboats, divers, and by foot. The 2 buses, along with passengers and bus crew, had been swept away by landslide into the Trishuli River at around 3:30 a.m. last Friday. A total of 65 passengers, including bus crew, were on board the 2 ill-fated buses. 3 of the passengers had jumped out of the bus to save themselves. Prime Minister K Sharma Oli is to seek the vote of confidence this Sunday. According to Chief Whip of the ruling coalition, Mahesh Bartola, Prime Minister Oli will take the floor test at the House of Representatives this Sunday, saying that the proceeding with regular works would be easy by receiving the vote of confidence at the earliest. A decision had been taken for the floor test this Sunday.
6 गते विश्वासको मत लिने हामीले कार्यतालिका तय गरेका छौं। यो बीचमा हामी अन्य दलहरुसँग पनि छलफल गर्ने छौं, संवाद गर्ने छौं, विश्वासको मतको पक्षमा मतदान गर्नका लागि अपील गर्ने छौं। मलाई विश्वास छ धेरै भन्दा धेरै दलहरुले सरकारका पक्षमा विश्वासको मत जाहेर गर्ने अवस्था बन्नेछ।
Based on the constitutional provision, a vote of confidence must be taken within 30 days of the appointment as the Prime Minister. CPN-UML Chairperson Oli had assumed his office as the Prime Minister last Monday. As Oli was appointed the Prime Minister of the government formed by 2 largest parties of the Parliament, Nepali Congress and CPN-UML, he will find it easy to pass the floor test. The current government includes Nepali Congress, CPN-UML, Janata Samajwadi Party, and Loktantrik Samajwadi Party. These parties have almost 2/3 representation at the parliament. Questions are being raised at CPN-UML and Nepali Congress as the 2 parties have yet to publish a detailed 7-point agreement reached on 1st of July between the respective party leaderships. Even leaders of the 2 parties have yet to see the clauses of the agreement. The first clause suggests amendment of the Constitution. However, it is unclear which article would be amended. The second clause calls for the formation of a national consensus government. However, the agenda was not addressed by Prime Minister K Sharma Oli while forming the government, which includes just 4 parties. The third point aims at stability in national politics and reviving the economy, which has been redundant to every party's manifesto. The fourth clause mentions that Prime Minister Oli will lead the government for 2 years, and the remaining term of the government will be handed to Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deuba. The agreement also includes the division of provincial positions between the 2 parties. Last Thursday, while speaking with Kantipur television, CPN-UML General Secretary Shankar Pokhrel had said the agreement would be released for the public on Friday when the government was formed, which has yet to happen. Now leaders from the two parties have themselves begun expressing reservations. Lawmakers from CPN Maoist Center and Rashtriya Swatantra Party had even demanded for the release of the agreement at last Monday's parliament session. Ambassadors of powerful countries to Nepal have become active after the change in government. Bilateral meetings are considered normal. However, ministers and ambassadors are found to ignore the diplomatic code of conduct. Experts say that Nepal's presence among the international fraternity has become weak due to the immaturity of political leaders on diplomacy, recurrent change in the government, and frequent change of ambassadors to foreign countries, among other reasons. Within a few hours after Prime Minister K Sharma Oli and other ministers were sworn in, Chinese ambassador to Nepal, Chen Song, met with Premier Oli and congratulated him. The following day, Indian ambassador to Nepal, Navin Srivastav, met with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Urban Development, Prakash Man Singh. According to Code 4 of the Diplomatic Code of Conduct 2020, ministers and government officials should invite representatives of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other related ministries while meeting ministers, ambassadors, or senior officials of foreign governments. However, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was not informed about the meetings. The participation of concerned representatives is required to prepare the record of talks held on those occasions. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs had corresponded with other ministries on 12th of April earlier this year regarding strict implementation following the rise in violation of the Diplomatic Code of Conduct. However, the political leadership as well as concerned entities are not serious towards the issue. The geopolitical race between neighboring countries, China and India, is evident. Nepal has the challenge of maintaining balanced diplomatic relations with both the countries. Likewise, the United States and the United Kingdom, among other countries that are considered important in terms of strategy, have also shown interest in Nepal. However, ambassadors to these countries change frequently with the change in government. Minister for Communication Prithvi Subba Gurung has said that the new government aims to maintain political stability to give a positive message to the neighboring countries as well as the international fraternity. However, the government has failed to abide by the Diplomatic Code of Conduct at the initial phase. The management of landless squatters has remained a massive headache for the government for many years. The government does not even have data on the total number of landless squatters across the country. Commissions are formed to address the problems of landless squatters after formation of each government, but the issues have yet to be resolved. After the order of the Supreme Court for identification of landless squatters inside the Kathmandu Valley and alternatives for their management, the government has begun formulating a new strategy. The government has begun preparations after the Supreme Court directed for proper management of the landless squatters taking refuge along the riverbanks inside the Kathmandu Valley and to vacate such areas. Landless squatters have occupied 27 locations along the banks of the Bagmati River in Kathmandu alone. The high-powered Committee for Integrated Development of the Bagmati Civilization has prepared data of 3,459 households certified by the ward committees. The government has made preparations to manage the landless squatters by activating the Land Commission by resolving policy-level complications. An apartment has been built in Ichangu Narayan to manage the landless squatters inside the Kathmandu Valley. The apartment can accommodate 232 families. However, the landless squatters had not agreed to live there. The Supreme Court has directed to use the same accommodation facility and find alternatives if it is inadequate. The high-powered Committee for Integrated Development of the Bagmati Civilization has claimed that the problem of landless squatters was not resolved in the past because of lack of coordination. The committee has said that the order of the Supreme Court must be implemented with collaboration among the National Land Commission, local levels, and the security departments. There is no exact data on the number of landless squatters inside Kathmandu. Despite formation of several commissions for management of landless squatters in the past, the Land Commission was not able to generate exact data. Former officials of the National Land Commission have said that the settlements of landless squatters along the Bagmati river banks could not be removed without exact data. The Supreme Court has ordered the government to provide cash to those landless squatters who disagree to live in the apartment built by the government and to vacate the public land they had been occupying. If the management of landless squatters is to begin from the Kathmandu Valley, it would pave the way for the implementation of the same model to address the issue in other districts as well. The government abolished the Kamaiya system on 17th of July in the year 2000 and freed 18,288 individuals across the country. Despite the lapse of 24 years since the announcement, many freed Kamaiyas have yet to receive their identity cards, while many have not been included in the list of freed Kamaiyas. On the day when they should have been celebrating their freedom, they shared grievances regarding the government indifference towards their resettlement. In the absence of identity cards, the freed Kamaiyas have not been able to educate their children and have been facing trouble during government-related works. During their Kamaiya days, they had to wake up early in the morning and think of serving their landlords or the so-called masters. After being freed, they began to think about themselves and their family members, but most have yet to receive their identity cards. Despite participating in many movements, many such individuals have not been included in the list of freed Kamaiyas of the government. The government announcement of abolishing the Kamaiya system back in the year 2000 has yet to be practically implemented. More than 2,000 freed Kamaiyas have yet to receive their identity cards. In the absence of identity cards, they have been facing trouble in educating their children and at government offices. Of the 1,426 freed Kamaiyas who have received their identity cards in Dang, only 688 have received the certificate of ownership of land. Freed Kamaiyas at 14 camps across the district have just one demand, which is the immediate collection of data and their proper management. Despite the formation of 18 entities in the name of committees, task forces, and commissions, the change in such entities with change in governments have led to the failure in ensuring proper management of the freed Kamaiyas, landless Dalits, and squatters. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. Why have problems of the freed Kamaiyas not been addressed even after 24 years of them being declared free? Your options are A, government indifference, B, procedural errors, and C, lack of pressure. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Industrialists of Biratnagar have said that they had been facing crisis due to disruption in regular supply of electricity. Industrialists who had participated in a program called Nepal's Energy Crisis, organized by the Chamber of Industries Morang, demanded for regular supply of electricity. Experts in the field opine that domestic consumption of electricity must be increased rather than exporting it to foreign countries. Water resources specialist Deepak Gyawali said that in the year 2022-23, the Nepal Electricity Authority had bore a loss of 9 billion rupees by exporting electricity to India, but had reported an overall profit of 24% that year. He said that the Nepal Electricity Authority had covered the losses incurred by exporting electricity to India by selling electricity to the public at higher price. The participants stressed on the need of an umbrella organization to address the crisis witnessed in the energy sector. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces how is the monitoring scenario in their regional markets. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
चाड पर्वको बेला अनुगमन हुन्छ अरु बेला चाहिँ खासै अनुगमन हुन्न
अनुगमनहरु त आइरहेका हुन्छन् अब मन लाग्दी भाव गरि लिन्छन्
अनुगमन गर्ने मान्छे कहीं पनि गएर आफ्नो काम पूरा गरिरहेको छैन
चाडबाड दशैं तिहार आउने गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ आउनुहुन्छ बेला बेला हैन वर्षमा एकचोटी जस्तो चाहिँ देखाछ यसो हेर्नुहुन्छ यस्तो भएन भन्नुहुन्छ अनि जानुहुन्छ फेरि फर्केर आउनुहुन्न
अनुगमन गर्नुपर्ने निकायले चाहिँ
राम्रोसँग अनुगमनहरू गरिरहेको छैन जति पनि गरिराख्नु भएको छ उहाँहरूले यो चाहिँ पर्याप्त भएको छैन
अनुगमन त हुन त भइरहेछ तर खासै प्रभावकारी भइरहेको छैन
बजारमा अनुगमन चाहिँ भइरहेको छ तर एकरूपता सबै छैन
गुणस्तर पनि अलि कमजोर छ डेट एक्सपायर भएको सामान धेरै भेटिया छ
प्रत्येक दोकान अनुसार मूल्य पनि फरक पर्न जान्छ अनुगमन चाहिँ महिनै पछि अथवा महिनामा 2 चोटिसम्म पनि हुन पर्ने पालिकाले यसमा ध्यान दिनै पर्छ
वर्षमा एक पटक आउने हुन् गर्ने कुरा राम्ररी चाहिँ सरकारले चाहिँ यसको राम्ररी चाहिँ हेरिदिनु पर्ने हो
महँगो सामान भेटिरहेछ बजारमा हेर्नवाला कोही छैन
अनुगमन गर्ने व्यक्ति हामीसँग भेटै भएको छैन केही थाहा छ
डेट एक्सपायर भएको प्रोडक्टहरु राखिराखन् कसैले अनुगमन गर्दैन अनुगमन गर्ने एक दिन गर्छन् भोलिपल्टदेखि त्यही सुरु हुन्छ
स्थानीय निकाय जिल्ला प्रशासनद्वारा नियमित रूपमा चाहिँ भइरहेको चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ देखेको छु तर पनि बजारमा चाहिँ मूल्यमा चाहिँ एकरूपता नभइरहेको चाहिँ एकदम जनगुनासो छ
नगर क्षेत्रभित्रका केही व्यापारिक केन्द्रहरूमा विविध वस्तुहरूको बजार अनुगमन गर्ने काम गरिएको छ
कहीँ अलिअलि भयो भन्ने चाहिँ सुन्न आएको छ तर त्यस्तो रेगुलर छैन
एउटै सामान 1000 मा किन्छ कोही एउटै सामान 2000 मा किन्छ छैन त्यस्तो केही छैन
डेट एक्सपायर भएको सामानहरू बिक्री भए नभएको आदि कुराहरू चाहिँ बेला बेलामा चेक जाँच गरिरहेको भए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो
It's time now for the international updates. According to Chinese state media, 16 people were killed after a fire broke out at a shopping mall in southwest China yesterday. Dramatic images showed a huge column of black smoke billowing from the 14-story building in the city of Zhejiang in Sichuan province. According to local media, the fire was brought under control this morning at 3 a.m. local time. State broadcaster CCTV reported that around 30 people were rescued from the blaze after nearly 300 emergency workers and dozens of vehicles were dispatched from the local fire department to the scene. In a statement today, China's Ministry of Emergency Management urged rescue workers and provincial officials to determine the cause of the fire as soon as possible and to learn lessons to ensure greater security in the future. Such incidents are not uncommon in China, where enforcement of safety standards is often lax. In January, a fire at a mixed-use building in southeast China killed at least 39 people, just days after another blaze at a boarding school in central Henan province killed 13 children. 47 people have died due to floods triggered by heavy rains in the Nangarhar province of eastern Afghanistan. According to the Ministry of Public Health, about 400 people were injured in the flood. It has been estimated that the number of deaths due to the flood may increase in the coming days. Similarly, many houses in the province were destroyed by flood and thousands of people had become homeless. Floods caused by heavy rains have destroyed the electrical infrastructure of the province, forcing the people there to live in darkness. The flood has also damaged arable land in the area. The provincial government of Afghanistan has continued the rescue and relief work. As a result, the farmers there are deprived of farming. The locals said that it had become very difficult for people who make their ends meet by farming. Likewise, the flood has made many people in Mustikel village of Sorkrud district homeless. The Department of Meteorology has asked the residents of the area to remain alert and added that heavy rains, wind and floods may intensify in the coming days. Similarly, the government agency working on the relief of Afghanistan has also requested the international community to provide relief assistance. U.S. President Joe Biden, under fire from fellow Democrats to drop his re-election campaign, tested positive for COVID-19 while on a trip to Las Vegas yesterday and is experiencing mild symptoms.
He was not seriously injured.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre announced the positive test for the 81-year-old Democrat after the president of Unidos US, a Latino civil rights organization, said Biden would not be able to speak at a scheduled event due to the diagnosis. Jean-Pierre said that Biden is vaccinated and boosted and experiencing mild symptoms. Minutes after the announcement, the president's motorcade was on the move from taping a radio interview in Las Vegas to the Las Vegas airport. The White House said that the president was returning to Delaware to self-isolation. Before boarding to Air Force One, he just flashed thumbs up to the media and said that he felt good. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.